When Aviva and I travel, our absolute favorite activity on each trip is some kind of home visit. And unfortunately, I was not feeling well on the night that we had a home visit arranged for our group. But I was rewarded within the next couple of days with the equivalent. So this was in the Valley of Jericho. We take a cable gondola ride up, I don't even know, is it more than 1,000 feet? It's really high up. It's like 1,000 feet onto basically the cliff walls where there are some caves above Jericho. And because I still wasn't feeling quite well, Jean and I both decided to stay behind. Everyone else was walking something like 137 steps through all of these caves, and I just wasn't up to it. So Jean Simons and I went and stayed in this little sandwich shop that is dangling precariously on the side of this cliff above Jericho. And as we were sitting there enjoying a drink, all of a sudden, about 30 of the local little kids, probably 10 years old, came streaming through. They were all Palestinian. They all lived in the Valley of Jericho. They were there presumably with their teacher. And it was absolutely adorable. This became my home visit. So every single one of them, bright little eyes, they would smile and wave, and they would say, "Hi, hello, what is your name?" And that was the limit of our ability to communicate. The little girl who heard my name, she said, "Too hard." And so I realized that I had my phone with me, and so I was frantically pulling up this Google Translate app and managed to configure it so that they could speak in Arabic into the phone, and then it would translate and tell me what they said, and vice versa. So we were able to go just a little bit deeper with the help of some technology. And of course, they're screaming into the phone, and there's 30 of them, and it's just wild. But it was so sweet to understand the things that were top of their mind. Number one, what is your name? Number two, what religion are you? And number three, do you love Palestine? To think that this is first on the mind of a 10-year-old was adorable. And so, of course, I said, I love Palestine. I love all religions. That's why we're here. And then finally, I couldn't quite understand. I think maybe their language is very poetic because it kept translating as, "You are beautiful." And they said this both to me and to Jean. And I thought, well, Jean's beautiful. Maybe they mean you're kind. I didn't really quite understand what that meant. And then at one point, there were so many of them. They were so interested in us, and they were crowded around so tight that Jean was feeling a little claustrophobic. It was a little bit hard to breathe. And so I translated through the app to this little boy. The one on the left is named Hassan, and the one on the right is named Saud. And by the way, you can't see in this picture, but Saud has the deepest blue eyes I've ever seen. He and his brother had these bright blue eyes, the color of the Sea of Galilee. Anyway, so little Hassan, as soon as he read my message that said, my friend needs it to be a little quieter and needs a little more air, he was so respectful. He went to all of his schoolmates and he said, "Shh, please," and he had them all step aside. It was just absolutely adorable. It was absolute respect for her. So I got my moment of child innocent diplomacy and my home visit, 1,000 feet above the valley floor.